My friends, when I told them that the records I had, they were saying, so you had Bananarama, and you had Erasure, and you had George Michael. They said to me, did nobody know you were gay? My name's Vincent Creelan. I live in Newtownards, which is a small town in Northern Ireland. I got married when I was at university when I was 19. I thought getting married would maybe straighten me out. I knew 6 months in it wasn't. I was still having a wank thinking about men, to be honest with you. So I knew that strategy had failed. In Northern Ireland, being gay, there were just no positive messages. I suppose the big realization was, I was about 15, I think, in my bedroom. I can't really remember the radio station, but this guy was being interviewed, talking about being in a relationship with another guy. I want to tell you this, he says, all across the UK, there are young guys listening to this. They're hearing something that means something to them. And they're really worried that father or somebody will walk into the bedroom and hit them. That was me. And that's when I realized that this was kind of telling me that I was gay and that the fears I had and the concerns I had and the isolation I had was very real, and I wasn't alone. The first book I bought, which would have been, I suppose, gay literature, would have been A Boy's Own Story by Edmund White. That was the first time I read something that I could put myself in that position, have those same feelings, the same crushes he talked about on boys. I remember reading it, not doing it in secret, but not really saying what the book was about. There wasn't really much for me to connect with for a long, long time. I just had to pick out characters and people that I either thought might be gay or that I fancied. I came off Night Shift. A film called My Beautiful Laundrette was on. I thought, well, my wife's away at work. I realized this was a gay film and I decided to watch it. It felt very real for the way things were in the world at that stage. And it was passionate and there was kissing and there was moments where they just lost control almost and took risks. I was doing none of that, obviously. But I looked at it and thought, that's what it could be and that's what I wanted. I remember there was a character in EastEnders. I'm just thinking about the kiss, and it was huge. I think they locked lips just about. And then there's a whole fury. They report the news, oh, the BBC got so many complaints, and it was nothing. And yet, you see so much heterosexual love and intimacy. You know, I came out, it was 1997, 1998. There still wasn't a lot to access, to be honest. You know, that was before kind of Queer as Folk. You didn't really have the internet. Most of the stuff that was on television was still those camp comedic characters or performers. But that changed, I guess, within 5 years. Queer as Folk seemed to open a door, and I think for everybody, the first episode, it kind of set the tone for it. Young guy goes out in the scene, everyone was gay friends, and they were just out for a night together, and this young guy was looking sex. Next thing you know, he's copping off, and then he's getting naked, and he's getting rimmed. It was exciting, it was like, this is the way it could be. For the very first time, seeing as close as you can to sex on TV. It was this big show, and everybody was kind of talking about it. I tend to watch quite a bit of Netflix because that's where I go for my series like Star Trek or What If or some of the other series that we've watched. And you find quite often by accident that there is a gay character or there's a gay couple or there's a gay theme in it. One of the programs I recently watched was the Tales of the City. You always wonder when something's refilmed and remade, is it really going to stand the test? Seeing how gay life had progressed and then seeing some of the characters being matured and some of them were in relationships. That was really good. I really enjoyed it. I love to watch some Grace and Frankie. Some of the trysts with their conversations and some of the banter, everyone was kind of settling into their friendships and into their relationships. It was lovely seeing an older man coming out. Within a very short time, he found all these gay people, he found these gay groups to be involved in, and he had this kind of gay life. It's good sometimes having a comedy in which the characters are just being themselves, rather than where the gay character has to be something bizarre and ridiculous and shocking all the time. It's good to see you reflected in a drama, whether it's a policing drama, a science fiction one, even documentaries. I like seeing the life that I perceive to be mine, which I still think being gay or being queer is a very different life. I think you just get used to it and you forget how quickly it's changed in maybe 5 years. Because certainly when I come out and 10 years ago, you were still just seeing caricatures, comedic representations, what straight people thought you should see, what was acceptable. And now it just seems that there's an acceptance, not a toleration, there's an acceptance and a kind of celebration of what my life and loads of other people's lives, in what is probably one of the largest minorities in our society, is now being seen in social media and TV and films.